Yes, a brush with death is indeed a miraculous opportunity for those few who have been graced to cross over dimensional barriers from time into timelessness. They are never the same again. We all know that. You cannot, because they have been touched by the light of God and they've had a glimpse of the other side. It's abundant grace when that happens. And that happens not for us, but it happens for all of you. Because when we get touched, we are supposed to come back and share that with you and benefit you with that we have been graced with. So we are all graced with that. And for me, during the NDE itself, I experienced a total metamorphosis, a transmutation as one touched by the philosopher's stone. It was divine alchemy at play. I witnessed something amazing. I saw and experienced being rebirthed. Divine alchemy, how we get birthed. I saw that and experienced it. There is no duality there. And then I was sent back as a completely different person with a completely different life role. I would say my body is living 2 lifetimes as 2 different people. I was not what I was before my NDE, and I'm writing my autobiography of the before and after, and they're completely, totally different. They're not the same person at all. And this actually was the fruition of a vow, a promise my soul had made to itself. It was in 1987, as I sat by a 7-foot by 3-foot bed of ashes at the cremation ground of my father. Besides the grief of losing him, I thought, my gosh, how lucky he is. He knows what is on the other side. I'd always wanted to know that. But then I also realized that he knew that only in death. That wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to know it while living. And as I sat there with his ashes, in front in a trough or whatever you want to call it, the 7-foot by 4-foot, 3-foot bed, I just went into a kind of a daze, and I saw myself pick up a handful of his ashes, and these ashes were in my hands, and I lifted my hand up with the ashes in my hand. I lifted my hand up with my face upwards, almost, my hand up to the universe, and I was almost with the ashes in my hand, face upwards. It was almost as if I was challenging death. And I heard myself saying these words with an intensity that I didn't know existed in me. These are the words that came out of me. I was saying, to know is to know, and I will know all there is to know in this lifetime, in this body. And then very slowly, I was pouring the ashes back into the ashes. After that, this happened, and it shook me up, but I forgot about it. I went back into living life and, got busy with my work, my career. I was a financial advisor and doing very well by the grace of God. Very, very high level of success, living a high-end life with a lot of media exposure in my community, TV, all that stuff. And even with that, that's when I started asking God questions like, I knew there was something more to life. I was missing something. So I kept asking him, even though I have everything I want, why am I not happy? Why am I here on earth? What is my true reality? And so it was that in 1994, I had a car accident, which led to my NDE. And in my NDE, I went straight into the dark void. I won't go into detail over here, but I'll give you just a glimpse of it. And from the dark void, I was taken in this amazing golden vessel into the light. When I went and I entered the light, I recognized it immediately. I recognized it as home. I was home. I was overjoyed to be back, and I was literally delighted. I mean, there are no words. I was surrounded by an all-pervasive brilliance, a pulsating, alive presence, and I knew I was a spark of brilliance. I could see myself as an electric light wave. It was just an electric light wave energy, alive, vibrating, held in the soft embrace of this luminescent, powerful, yet very gentle energy. This energy was exuding a fullness of love that was so expansive, so full, so pure, so unconditional. It was just all embracing, and it was communicating with me on a cosmic wavelength where I had a sense of knowing and even understanding everything that it was communicating to me. And it was also natural, like that's the way it was supposed to be. And then very soon I saw something very interesting begin to happen with my electric light body. It was a very orderly exchange of atoms, where I saw atoms going out and atoms coming in. And there was a replacement of me, complete metamorphosis, the details of which are in my upcoming book. Universal truths were unfolding and being poured into my being as the me identity that I had before my death. The me identity was dissolving, melding into oneness with supreme consciousness. I wasn't a spark anymore. There was only that one and nothing else. There is nothing else. Nothing but the awareness of a complete state of bliss and a wholeness that cannot be explained in words. The knowing of my reality and the truth of creation was crystal clear. And that clarity is nothing but love, love, and love. A love so encompassing and whole. And that love is God. God is love. Love is God. And in that awareness of oneness with the Absolute, all my questions fell away. I am that I am. I was the peace that passeth understanding. I wanted to be here at home forever. I did not want to go back. And at that time, I kind of turned over this non-existent electric light shoulder, just kind of looked back and, to say goodbye to the world I had come from. And guess what? Guess what? When I looked, there was nothing. No world, no earth, no galaxy, nothing. It did not exist. It does not exist. I knew then that our world is just an illusion, a mind-created dream reality. Just as a sleeping dream feels so real, the life dream also feels real, but is as temporary as the sleeping dream. Don't you agree that when you are sleep dreaming, it feels so real? In the same way, this life dream too feels totally real, doesn't it? But is it? That is the question. And one of my very precious experiences from the NDE is the knowing, and we all know that, we've all mentioned it before, is that we never die. The knowing that life is just a dream and that we as souls never die. That we are eternal spirit. That there is no need to be afraid of death. That death is really a wonderful release from this body cage into our true self and power. It is a doorway into coming back home. Here on the other side, I was alive, fearless, infinite, powerful, pulsating with a love so divine and beautiful. You and I are just this. All of creation is just this. We are love divine. That's who we are. That's our genes, if I may say so. You are powerful, infinite. The entire universe is alive within you. In fact, you are the universe, pulsating with a love so divine and joyful. If only you would believe in that. If only you would believe in you. Trust in you. Trust in yourself. Trust in this truth of your reality. Trust in your power. You are powerful. You can do anything you want. Don't limit yourself, please. In my discovering this reality, the truth of creation, in that knowing came the revelation of who and what I am, and knowing that all my illusion disappeared, and the truth of life and beyond was known. The what and why of life, why we are here, why we as souls take birth in a human body on earth became crystal clear. And with that clarity and knowing, I was sent back to earth. I was commanded, literally commanded by the all-pervasive consciousness to go back and do the work with the divine tool. Only one tool they gave me. And that too is unconditional love. And that is what I carry back with me. That is all we need, because we are that. Because when unconditional love touches the unconditional love in you, we connect, because we are that. We come home to each other. So on my return, I walked away from the high-end life to the ashram of my guru, my master, Sai Baba in India, delving deeper and deeper into my inner self, spending many months in the Himalayas, meditating in caves, bathing in rivers, having wonderful experiences, meeting with ascetics. And then I had to share the secrets that were revealed to me on the other side with whomsoever the universe sends to me. I was to help ease the fears and pain held by the human mind. I would do that by shedding light on the true purpose of our journey on earth. I knew I had to share this with as many souls as possible, to help them never be afraid and to live their truth, to live a life of joy and peace. It is possible, it really is possible. And in today's day and age, just to navigate life itself in the material world can be very challenging. But then to endow it with meaning, purpose, love, peace can often lead to feeling lost, bringing confusion, depression, and a sense of the futility of it all. Because here's the thing, we are rowing our boat merrily, still tied to the anchor. Even though we are rowing, we are not moving anywhere, and we find ourselves in the same place. And that is because we are using the tool of our mind as the oars of our boat, and the mind, well, we know where that will take us. Certainly not to our destination, but into confusion, attachments, anxiety, dissatisfaction, keeping us enslaved with more and more desires and fooling us into thinking that in fulfilling them, we will find that happiness we are looking for. And side by side, the mind, which is geared to take you away from you, also creates fear of the loss of happiness if we are not able to fulfill the desires that it is filling us with. Stuck in the web, aren't we? The thing is, we are searching for answers and happiness in the wrong places. Creating desire and fear in us are the master tools of the mind. We must stop being slaves to it. We must learn to master our mind, become a mastermind. Our choices can become turning points in our life, and they must be considered carefully, for just one choice can take us either forward or backward in our life journey. I would like to end with a story from the Indian scriptures, the Upanishads. This is the story of the Himalayan musk deer. The rare musk, the fragrance, comes from the deer, which it carries in its navel area in a hair-covered flesh pouch. So one day, a musk deer became acutely conscious of an irresistible, heavenly fragrance around him. He was mesmerized by it and was determined to find the source of this fragrance. Unmindful of cold weather or hunger, he searched for it day after day after day, exhausted but fearless in his desperation to find it. Until one day, exhausted, tired, hungry, he had a fatal fall from a cliff. And with the fall, the flesh below his navel was injured and the musk pouch tore open, releasing the fragrance he had been chasing after and searching for his whole life. That mesmerizing fragrance was all around him now. And guess what? Where was it coming from? It was coming from nowhere else but himself. This story beautifully illustrates how the happiness we seek outside and all around us is in fact within us. True happiness lies in oneness with consciousness, in union with our power, our love, our higher self. In the seeker's quest, if he chooses to traverse this path of searching for the musk, searching for love, peace, happiness, self-realization, he will find at the end of his journey that he has only traveled from himself to himself. For everything we seek lies within ourself, our higher self, our reality. That is consciousness, our oneness, that which is common to all life, and our divine connectedness to each other. We come here on earth to play the game of discovery, a journey into discovering our magnificent world, in our inner world, our truth, glorious, divine, profound, joyful. So learn how to open yourself into the truth of your external existence as beings of pure love, pure peace, pure joy. Take the step toward yourself. Let the healing begin. Let the adventure begin.